So again, the intention of this community, is to we're not just trying to everyday cover, like, we're trying to make sure you guys can learn stuff as we go along and improve your trading style and have a plan, have a strategy, right? So we know that quite a few of you guys that are not quite aware of like how TradingView works, how charting works, what an RSI is, how you can use an RSI to actually make gains. Some of you guys are just following like pumps, on Twitter, and that strategy isn't always going to work, right? So again, the intention of like Mindy, so Mindy's gonna try and share like indicators with you guys in terms of like, okay, like this is how this works. So you can build a strategy, right, guys? You can come up with a strategy. So Mindy, thank you very much for doing this. Thank you. So Mindy's gonna explain today, guys, how the RSI works. Right. So you can every single one of these tools, guys, is a tool in the toolbox. You want to be using a whole bunch of them together to have a strategy, right? Again, tools. Again, every single one is a tool in the toolbox. As BBIG is about to make a new high here, right? So again, so Mindy's gonna explain like how the RSI works here.
Okay, so Blaze wanted me to talk about the RSI today. Last night on Discord, we went over the RSI and the MACD. So I'm going to try to do that like maybe every night or every other night on Discord. So if you want to join and look at different indicators that you can use to make some gains. So the very simple one, and it's pretty popular, it's probably one of the most popular, would be the relative strength index. And what the relative strength index is, it's just a momentum indicator. How it's calculated is like a formula. You don't need to know the formula, but basically it's like 100 minus 100 over the average gains and the average losses within the time period that your RSI is set up. Mine right now is just the one that comes with TradingView. Sometimes I change this. If I'm doing the daily, I'll change that to 10, so it's a little bit tighter time period. The length on this is 14, so it's going to take 14 time periods of the 15-minute chart. But what the RSI is, like I said, is it's just kind of like a momentum indicator that shows the recent price changes. What it does, though, is it tells you when something's overbought or oversold. And how we can tell that is when something's oversold, it's going to be down here. This side ranges anywhere from 0 to 100 is where usually, usually where people have their set. I have mine set at 70 and 30. Some people have theirs set at 80 and 20 for an overbought, oversold. So what happens is anytime that this line comes down on the chart, this momentum comes down to the 30 range. This is on Bitcoin right now, live chart on the 15-minute. So it comes down this is an oversold area. And this would be your buy zone down here. Anywhere near 30 would be a buy. And then up here would be your overbought area. And that's in the 70 range for me. Like I said, some people have it 80-20. I do 70-30. So anywhere up here on 70, overbought, oversold. And how that works is you can look here. Let's see. Okay. So right here, you're getting an indication right here, right, of an oversold area. And what happens is you buy there's your buy signal, that it correlates to the chart. So you're right here on the chart. So that's where you would buy in. You ride this train all the way up. Now it's got so much momentum that you eventually get to an overbought area, which is right here, right? And that's where you would place your sell order if you're scalping or whatever. And that's where you would sell. And you can see that we tend to come down, cool off a little bit. What I like to see on charts is that cool off area. Usually, sorry, I'm just tired. Usually, if something's really pumping, you want to give it time to cool off and hang out in the middle of this RSI, which is around the 50 area. That indicates if you're cooling off in this 15-minute area, that indicates that maybe it's ready for a next leg up and people would be more comfortable buying. Now what happens though, which is bearish and bullish divergence, and this is something that I saw on this chart, and I wanted to go over that too. So bearish and bullish divergence is just a momentum shift. You can tell by using the RSI right here. So let's see. So right here you've got a lower high and a higher high right here, right, on Bitcoin. That was yesterday. But here you can see, I'll put that there. And here on the RSI, you can see it doesn't quite match the chart, right? You're actually forming a lower high, even though that the price is going higher. So that's an indication of a bearish divergence. So what does that mean? That means that, hey, we might be changing a little bit of momentum here. We might need to cool off a little bit. Also, it's kind of like an indication of maybe a reversal of a trend reversal in a bearish direction. So you can see on the 15-minute chart, it's playing out a little bit later. You can see that bearish divergence happened. We kind of hung out a little bit, and then we've kind of dipped down. So that's a bearish divergence. And then I noticed on here a little bit of bullish divergence. And when you're looking at bullish divergence and bearish divergence, sometimes you have to have like an eye of like a diamond inspector. Like you've got to have a good eye. So right here, this is what I noticed is you've got a little bit of a lower low right here. And then, but on the RSI, you can see that we're actually forming a higher low right here. So that would be an indication of a bullish divergence. And that is, that tells you, okay, maybe we're changing the momentum and we're going to be heading in an upward direction. And you can see after that bullish divergence happened, everyone kind of noticed that the RSI had time to cool off, and we ended going back up in that uptrend. So that's just a couple indicators on there. But you always want to use, you can't just use one indicator, right? I mean, you can use one at a time. That's kind of what I like to do. But you always want to use a couple. If you use one, it may tell you something different, where if you add another one on there, you kind of can come to a conclusion of what your prediction is of what's going to happen in the market. But that's why Blaze, when he streams, he puts the RSI up, because it's one of the most easy indicators to tell you, if something's overbought or oversold. Where should I buy? Obviously, when you're pumping and the RSI is super extended, like right here, that's probably not a place that you want to buy, right? Because look what happened. Overextended, we came down, and the chart came down as well. And it shows it way more on really big pumps. Like the RSI sometimes gets to, I've seen them over 100, and that's like a no buy, even though it's pumping and you want to make gains. What you really want to do is, let me see if I can go to a longer time frame. What you really want to do is wait until it comes back down and cools off here in the middle right here, the 50 mark on the RSI, and let it gain that momentum. If I were to change to the Shiba chart, you would be able to tell a little bit more on the RSI where it likes to cool down. So you can tell right here, we had that overbought right here. We cooled down right here on the chart, came down to the 30 zone, right? Everyone bought and we came up here. But where you can kind of see is we kind of tested that overbought area, but we kind of just started living in the middle. And that's what I like, because then we can keep going on to the next leg up. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. I don't want to take too much time. But there you go, Blaze.
I was trying to say, I was on mute. I was going to say, I love that living in the middle. And that's like the nice thing you want to see, especially if you were saying a leg up, and you just chill out.
Yep.
And then expect another leg up.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah. But the bearish and bullish divergence, you've kind of got to really have an eye for it. After you've done it a while with the RSI, you can kind of just look at a chart and be like, oh, there it is. And that'll just tell you maybe we might be doing a little momentum change. Like bearish means bad, right? That means that the bears have control a little bit. So that might be kind of maybe a fake out, maybe not. And then you can see that we consolidated and the bearish divergence came in and told us, yep, the momentum's changing. Where like bullish divergence, you can see on the chart, bullish divergence, maybe the momentum shifting into the bull zone. And yep, you can see that we went on a nice little bull run right there. So
Yep.
And no matter how many times, I'll look at charts and everything like that, every time I hear someone else explain it to me, I always pick up something else.
Yeah.
And the way you explain that, like, it's perfect. Like, this is a perfect chart.
Yeah.
You're never done learning,
Yeah.
Exactly. And Mindy, how do you add the RSI in your TradingView chart? How would you add that in?
Yeah, let me just delete this. Okay, so this is TradingView, right? You've got your candles. We use the heckin' ashy candles. A lot of us do, just to see that momentum as well. It's a little bit better. And then over here, this F, it's an indicator, it's a strategy. And you would just type RSI, which is a relative strength index. There's so many, like, people create their own. I just use sometimes I just use the built-in ones because they're the easiest. Some of my friends that I used to trade with, they've made their own, and I've got their indicators, some of them here, Doge Pack, Doge, a couple things that they've made that kind of helps with different charts. And then when you're on this, I use, so let's say we do the hour chart. So right now you've got the built-in 14 time frame, and that would be 14 hours of RSI. That is going over 14 hours of data, right? And doing this RSI. Well, I change that usually to a 10, because what happens is, if you can see right here on the RSI, you can see it tightens up a little bit, and it gives you a little bit more of a accurate, reading when you do a little smaller time frames. If you're trying to scalp some more, I just change it to a little bit lower setting, and it gives me a little bit tighter ranges where I can scalp on crypto. Like Blaze has the RSI on the 1 minute chart. I personally, yeah, you can scalp on the 1 minute chart, like Blaze always says you can. But using the RSI on the 1 minute chart, it's just going to look very, very crazy, because you're going to get overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold, and it's just going to be instantaneous a lot of the time. So if you're using it on the longer time frames, it's a little bit more accurate of the pump and dumps, right? And I even use it on the 15-minute chart. It gives me a little bit more time to make some decisions of what the RSI is doing, if I can see some bullish and bearish divergence on a longer scale.
There you go. There you go, guys. Mindy, thank you very much. Can you no, I'm not muted. I'm good. So can you explain, like, again, so now you guys know how to add the indicator into your chart. Can you explain the whole potentially buying at the bottom and selling at the top again one more time, please, and thank you.
Yep. So this is the range right here for the RSI. Most of the time it stays anywhere between 0 and 100, but what we look for, or what I do, is I have the 70 is my sell, and the 30 is my buy, and then you're living in the middle right here around 50. Let me change those colors really quick to red for a sell and green for a buy. And so what happens is you're looking, but you also don't want to really look at the RSI for a buy and sell. You want to also look at the chart, right? So if I'm right here, let's see, right here we're at 30. Look at that big support right here on that chart. That to me tells me that's definitely a buy right there. That is a buy. We're at support. The RSI is at 30, and look at that. If I were to buy right there, we went all the way from 50, around 54.5, all the way to 56.7. So that's a nice gain right there. And then up here, I would have taken profits right here and rode the RSI back down until we kind of cooled off and let people kind of get into a comfortable buy zone. And yeah, does that answer your question, please?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one right there on for that chart, Mindy. Right to the left of the circle you made. I'm pointing at the screen like you guys could see me. It's so ridiculous. But right to the left of that, yeah, that might think of people as like, oh, that's the bottom. It's going to go up. But if you look at your RSI, it's still in your middle of it's not at your buy, right? I thought that was a really good point to, like, it's not at where you set your buy signal for.
Yeah. But like when I see this bullish divergence, and I see that the RSI is down here, I'm like, okay, the momentum is shifting. Something's about to happen. We're getting increased volume. And you look at other things, and that would be right here, this bullish divergence at this support level with the RSI right here. That would have been my buy. Yeah. And I would have rode it until I made some pretty nice gains. And you can tell that, yeah, we went from right here, 54.7, all the way to 56.5 again. So,
yep. Nice. Yeah, I think that answers all my questions. If you guys have any questions, guys, in the chat about whatever Mindy said, right? Please ask. Take
advantage of this. Mindy's putting on a clinic right now. This is really good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the chat mini, but yeah, people saying thank you. So
Oh yeah, I
uh,
couldn't see it. Sorry.
okay, there you go. So I see Dub, thank you for the super chat. BBIG pumping on your birthday. Still love you all. I see Dub, congrats. Happy birthday, by the way. I see Dub. Good to see you. Happy birthday. There you go.
I'm the only
Happy
one working.
birthday, IC Dub. So yeah, let us know. You guys are great for education. Yeah, no, again, Tyler, that's why we're here, right? It's not like we're here to celebrate gains with you guys all the time. We're trying to make sure you guys can have some tools in your toolbox. So when you go to make the next trade, guys, you're not like, oh man, what should I do now? Because I have no idea what I'm doing, right? Again, you need to have a plan, right, guys? You can't just all be okay. I'm gonna buy the FOMO stuff. I'm gonna go on Twitter and look for play. I'm gonna go stock tweets and look for play. Okay, sure, I'm gonna do that, but can I also look at the chart, right? Can I do some analysis? Can I do some research? Can I look at the chart and see, okay, like what does the RSI look like? Are we sitting at support? Can I maybe take a play here? If it's right, so again, there you go. Hopefully this helps, guys. Mindy's gonna try and do some of this. The MACD is most likely next. Right. So there you go. Thank you guys. Thank you very much, Mindy. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah,
I mean, I can watch someone show me their opinion on how to read it, and like
Yeah.
Mindy said, like if you have a diamond eye, you know, like when you see it, you'll know, and
Yeah.
you can always learn from someone. It's awesome.
Yep.
Chills, I got, Mindy. That was great. Thanks.
There you
No,
go. Thank you.
honestly, when you do it for a while, you can just look at a chart and see something, either a warning sign or a positive sign, bearish, bullish, divergence. You can, like, I know sometimes it seems really complicated right now, and you look at these charts and you're like, oh my gosh, it's a bunch of red and green and stuff. But like when you zoom out, or when you look at all these indicators and stuff, you're like, oh, actually, this is really good, or this
Yeah.
is really bad, and it just starts like turning in your head, and you'll be able to look at a chart and tell exactly what's about to happen, or what's not about to happen, or this and this. And yeah,